With that type of growth, do you see it as a challenge to maintain the family culture that you built the business on? And how do you approach that as you grow?
Yeah. I would say there's nothing that gives me more stress than long term. There's lots of short term stress in this industry and a building like
Mhm.
this, but long term is how do you keep a good culture as this company grows? And I came from very large companies in my past, and a lot of them taught me what not to do. And I took those lessons of what not to do, and I have those really kind of cemented in my mind of what I don't want to become because I've seen it. And so our model of decentralized culture, decentralized decision making, and driving that at the individual plant level is one way where we keep that local feel. And what we
Mhm.
want is really that balance. We want the balance of the small company feel on a day-to-day basis, but with the big company that allows you opportunity. We're big on promote from within. We hire from the outside too, but we really want to, whenever possible, promote from within. So we want to both have that local feel, but then also be that company that gives you opportunity. You can grow a career, and not just a career where you're doing the same thing every day for 40 years, but you have a job. But if you want to advance and you want to grow, and you can move or not move, we want to create those opportunities. So we're trying to create the best of both worlds: the opportunity that
Mhm.
comes with a big company, the rewards and the benefits that come with the big company, but with the feel of a small company. This is going to be our biggest challenge this year on how to do that, launching these plants. And our management team definitely can't be everywhere anymore. I can't stop in every week at each of the plants. We have to trust the individual plant managers, individual plant teams to run that plant, set the right culture, set the right tone, while also delivering results. And so it is a balance, and it is a concern. I think we've done a good job so far. We can always be better, and the real challenge is still to come over this next year. But what I will say is it's top of mind. We don't want to become a corporate bureaucracy. We don't want to become layers after layers. We don't want to build a mega corporate structure that flies down
Mhm.
and tells everyone they're not good enough because these numbers and these numbers are. We want to, when we're there, we want to dig in with them as a partner to our plant teams, not just as this corporate monster.
Yeah, and that, I guess, it makes my last question a little bit redundant, but I do want to ask you how how you describe your personal leadership style, but also in general, what it takes to be a leader in today's meat industry, especially when you're dealing with a lot of labor challenges, amongst many others.
Yeah, my personal style, it's really supportive and a builder of people. Maybe to a fault, I will give a lot of people second chances all the time, third chances, maybe even fourth chances. I really believe that you have to be a builder of people, and you have to want to lift people up. I mean, yes, there's a lot of labor challenges in the market, but what we found is it's less so when you are supportive of people and you want the best and you create a good environment they actually want to come to. One of the things we always say is, we'll never schedule Saturdays. We'll never accept so many POs that we have to work the weekends. We want you to have your normal life, your normal job. Now, we'll sometimes fall behind and we'll schedule Saturdays, and it always pains me when I know if I feel like a couple Saturdays have been worked and it's been getting a little too much, but we want to give people the work life balance. I think that's important that a lot of companies are missing. We want to give them the stability. We want you to know your job is secured for the future. There's not going to be ups and downs and temporary layoffs and furloughs, and that's on us to build a sustainable business. And so if we're reliable and we treat people well and we give them a career and opportunity to grow and a good wage and good benefits, we honestly have so far been really lucky to have a good, loyal team, and very stable staffing. And that's also allowed our customers to win in the market because their customers can count on them because they can count on us. And we just want to keep rolling that momentum, and again, being good to people at the end of the day is what matters.
Yeah, I think that's a great outlook, and I think there are new requirements for today's meat industry leadership. especially in order to attract and keep people. And I guess I lied a little bit about that being my last question, but um, I wanted to ask you, throughout your career and just kind of looking back and everything you've done, what what do you love about working in the meat industry? What do you love about what you're doing?
Honestly, it's the challenge of it. You know, we have very we take variable inputs and are expected to make a uniform output. That's
Hmm.
hard. And when things are hard, you have to be intuitive, you have to be, innovative, and you have to think of better ways to do things. You have to constantly keep improving. We have a perishable supply chain that's constantly in motion, and you have the growth cycle of the herds. And, like it's all those dynamics that make it hard. But in the hard is where the opportunity is. If you just embrace the hard, it creates a moat, honestly, because somebody's going to want to work really, really hard to be with you. And so by embracing the hard, and that's what the meat industry is, that's what's so enjoyable is how hard it is and how much you have to work and think innovatively to be successful in it.